This is going to be a long morning because I'm going to be doing 2 videos and coloring my last paragraph of the book that I'm writing. The book is How to Erase Rape and How to Change Sex for Men and Women. Okay? So, and the last color part of my book is the dance of the biology of the sexes. Okay? So this is what I'm going to be coloring at the moment, but this morning. Okay, so let's start here. Okay, now let's start from here. Okay, now the cells. Okay. Now, estrogen and testosterone, especially estrogen. Estrogen is the most diverse actioner in the human body. They do different, do different things in different cells. Okay. So, throughout the body. Okay. So, and what does estrogen do? Okay. Okay, estrogen, okay, the estrogens, okay. Okay, the estrogens, okay, which are, you have the alpha and beta, which the first one, which is E1, is estrone. Okay. E2. Okay. Westradiol, and E3, okay, which is okay. You have westradiol and westriol. Okay, the ohm means there's only one OH molecule attached to the steroid, which is the estrogen. And the diol means you have 2 OH attached to the estrogen, and the triol means there's 3 OH attached to the estrogen. Okay, there's like different types, and alpha and beta, those are the what do you call that? Oh my God. Okay. Those specify the direction where the OH or the double oxygen bond is. I would say the OH, where the OH is attached to the estrogen. It's called a chirality. Okay. Okay. So I'll mention it right now. I'll write it down. Chirality. Okay. So this is the chirality of the molecule. That means in which directions all the atoms are attached to the main body of the molecule. Okay. And so estrogen, okay, basically I will list the cells, okay, that by importance, by order of importance, okay, meaning starting from the most important to the least important, okay, where estrogen does have an effect, which is the brain cells. Okay, this is the first ones. You have the bone cells, which the bone cells are the osteoclast, the osteoclast, the osteocytes, and the osteoblast. Okay. Now the osteocytes are the rigid, not exactly the rigid, but they're more their standard bone cells. They're like throughout the bone cells, you know, from the surface to the well, they're inside the bone matter, which is the salt or the crystal of the bone, and they're throughout from the beginning of the salt surface to the end of the salt surface, which is the surface of the cavity, inside the cavity. Okay, and the osteoclasts are the ones that are dissolving the bone matter, which is the bone lattice or salt. Okay, and the osteoblasts are the molecules that build bone matter. Okay, so and then you have the muscle cells. Okay, and then you have the cells of the hypothalamus. Okay, the brain cells here are the ones on your cerebral cortex, okay, where your thoughts, where your conscious or your soul is, okay, or the house of your soul. It's kind of like a computer. It's a computer generation of your soul, in a sense, okay. So it specifies your soul is your conscious. And then you have cells of the testicles. Okay. Here I'm talking about, this is for boys who want to look like like women, or they want to be women. Okay. But you know, personally, politically, I prefer that they would say, I would like to look like a woman, but you know, they keep their status as man or male. Okay, the human male. Okay, that's politically on my part. Okay, but again, also and also boys are allowed to look like women, girls are allowed to look like man in all its and all their glories. Okay, so and then you have the mammary as cells, and then you have the okay, you have the adipose. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to mention. The epidermal, the dermal cells. Okay, the dermal cells, and then you have the adipose, adipocytes. Okay, sites mean cells. Okay, adipocytes under skin. Okay. Okay. So now this is it's only a suggestion or an hypothesis of my part. Okay. And of course, the most important cells are the cells in the brain, which are the brains, the neurons, and the osteoglytes or the glites. Okay, and then the bone cells comes next with the muscle cells. I would say these three are almost equal as in importance. Okay, meaning the upkeep. Estrogen basically upkeeps their life until our death. Okay, so those are the most important cells to protect, to upkeep their life. If they die, they have to be replaced immediately, and estrogen does that, and also vitamins and other molecules. Okay, cells of the hypothalamus. Okay, our cells are sensitive to the concentration of estrogen, testosterone, or aldosterone, or any other steroid or hormones or protein hormones in the body, and when a certain when the body when the blood itself reaches a certain concentration of a molecule, the cells of the hypothalamus register that, and then it sends out a signal to stop producing that particular steroid or cell or protein. Okay, and then you have cells of the testicles. Okay, so it goes up. Okay, it goes up in importance because the brain cells are the most important cells. Most important, and here is the least important. Okay. Now the way it works by concentration and also by probability of the effect by the hormone and also the protein. Okay, the enzyme. Okay, so most important and the most sensitive. Okay, and here's the least important and the least sensitive. Okay, now the way this is done, and this works by concentration. Okay, by concentration. Here for an effect on these cells, okay, estrogen has to be in a very high concentration. Okay, and also to up the probability of a genetic effect. Okay, or the genetic lecture and also effect. Okay, so this means that for the upkeep of the living of the neurons and the gliocytes or the glial cells, all you need is just a very minute concentration of just a few cells of a few molecules of estrogen to give that effect, and it's like the effect is 100%. Okay, same thing with bone and muscles compared to the adipose, which is a little bit harder to come by, and also the mammary glands. Okay, a woman and a man and a woman who has a high concentration of estrogen, but the concentration is not high enough to make more mammary to stimulate the mammary cells to replicate, to produce more mammary cells. So therefore, in growing the breast. Okay, and same thing with the dermal cells. The dermal cells, for example, male pattern baldness. Okay, for a man that's completely bald, okay, there's like other factors that comes in, like diabetes, and also how many their immune system, which is which influence the immune system, influence the amount of stem cells that we have in our bloodstream, in our body, basically. Okay, so what happened is that if you have a high concentration of estrogen, the high concentration of estrogen will lower testosterone, will influence, okay, will tell the cells of the hypothalamus to stop producing sex hormones, because there's a lot of the final product, which is estrogen. Okay, so what happens is that the hypothalamus, or the cells of the hypothalamus send signal to the ovaries and also the testicles to stop these cells of these two organs, these two different glands, to stop producing progesterone or testosterone, the sex hormones. Okay, so that's the way it works. Okay, and cells of the testicles. So what happened is that estrogen has the influence to kill. The estrogen tells the cells of the testicle to die, meaning it stimulates, it activates apoptose. Apoptose is a specific gene that if that gene is activated, that gene will send signal to the cell to die, basically, okay? But it's not complete. There's always in these, in every organ, there's always like stem cells, or in French it's called cellules souches, or they're precursors, okay? So there's always precursors, so it's never 100% irreversible. There's always irreversible, depending on the people, the person, or the animal, or the living being. So what happened is that a high concentration of estrogen, especially 17 beta estradiol, will initiate the death of the Leydig cells, which the Leydig cells produce testosterone, and also the tubular cells, which produce the sperm cells. Okay, or well, I think it does produce the sperms. Well, the tubules, it holds the spermatozoid inside the tubules, or the tubular cells. Okay, so this is what it does. There's a regression. A high concentration of estrogens will produce an effect of regression of the testicular cells, which are the tubular cells, and also the Leydig cells. Okay. So this is the way. So this is the way this works. Now, okay, I finished with this. Okay, now the probability works by probability, actually. So I don't need this anymore. So I'm gonna move this that way. Okay. Oh, I can't find my glasses. Oh, there it is. Okay, now, okay, I'm gonna finish the drawing. Unfortunately, that's a little bit. Alright, so bear with me. I'm gonna finish the drawing quickly, and then I'll bring up the coloring towards the screen so you can see it. Also, all my colorings that I do in my videos, I place them on 2 web pages, and the address of the web pages are under the description of this video. Okay, so. Okay, now I nearly finished. This is the last sprint of coloring I'm doing for that colors paragraphs, that adds a color paragraphs to my book. Okay, but bear in mind, after I'll do a more extensive comic book that will show, basically it will be a comic book of the sex biology movements of hormones and enzymes, or receptors, and also the body, inside the body, the biology of the inside the body, and the cells. Sorry about that. The color of, it's going to be the color of the biology of the hormones, the receptors, and the cells, and then the organs itself, and after the body. That's how it goes. And eventually I will publish this book, and then I'll publish my future comic books in paper, and post them either to to sell online, by delivery, or in stores. Okay, so therefore, I came up to the decision that the conclusion and decision that the Rembrandts, the pastel Rembrandts, are they're much more superior than the other ones, like the Sennelier and the Mungios, which Sennelier is a company that produces pastel, which is a French company. Mungio is a Korean company that produces pastel. Well, actually, the Sennelier keeps breaking. Okay, the Mungio are very good because they spread much easier, and they don't break that much. But unfortunately, they smudge a lot. Compared to the Rembrandts, don't particularly smudge, but at the same time, they spread well and they're hard. They don't break as easily as the other two, especially the Sennelier. Sennelier is not much softer, much weaker. Okay, so I pair it like this. Okay, so no, I probably need wearing gloves. Now let's see here. I'm gonna use blue. Oh, but not orange. This time I'm gonna be using orange. Actually, blue. Okay, I'm gonna be using this. Okay, now. And red. Blue and red. Okay. Okay, now let's start here. Yeah, I'm gonna start from this starting block here. Okay. So the red it's since okay now. Okay, the red is a RNA polymerase. It's I wouldn't say, what's it called? It's a polymerase. Yeah, RNA transcription promoter. It's an RNA polymerase. Okay. Now okay, so we'll try it like this. Okay. Okay, this red blotch is a RNA polymerase, which is inside the nucleus of a cell. Okay, and this blue streak is a DNA. Okay, this is an uncoiled DNA, and then the polymerase hooks up to the uncoiled DNA down the side where it's going to be transcribed into a messenger RNA. Okay, so basically, So now we're gonna make a, now this is, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot to mention, actually the RNA polymerase actually hooks up, actually no, yeah, that's the way it does, okay. So, it does it like this. So now let's see here. Okay, so this is the spiral of the spiral of the DNA, which is two strands of DNA. Then it splits up by another protein that's frees the both strand, and then the polymerase gets into that strand right here. Okay. Now here there's bits and pieces of nuclei, nucleotides. Nucleotides are basically adenine, thymine, cytosine, and then there's guanine. Okay, so basically there's four like nucleotides floating. Okay, all the blue dots are nucleotides. Okay. And basically they're floating inside the nucleus of the cell. Okay. So then the strand gets, this is the RNA polymerase. I might as well write it down I'll write it down in purple. Okay. RNA polymerase. Now, I'll write it in French. Okay, so, and what happens, now I'm going to use, it would be the same. Okay, so therefore, okay, now this part is a gene, okay, this part of the split DNA strand is a gene, the blue, the blue part. Okay, so now, and here, starting from here, this is an RNA molecule. Now, where did I put it? Oh, no, it's not there. There it is. Okay. Okay. Now I'm also write it down. DNA. Okay. Double helix. Okay. This is the double helix, or the spiral. Two spiral DNA molecules entwined into each other, producing an helix, a double helix. So, same thing. And this is the RNA is being formed, which is the pre-messenger RNA. Okay. Okay, this is the pre-messenger RNA. Now the pre-messenger RNA inside the, okay, so I'm going to put it, okay. Now the only difference, RNA has, I can't remember which one, but RNA has one uracil, okay. the one difference of nucleotides in the RNA molecule, which is composed of uracil instead, I think instead of thymine. You don't have a, so it's adenine, uracil, cytosine, and it might be different. It might be guanine actually. I'm not sure. Here, hold on. I'll see if I can. Okay. Yeah, it's thymine, and there's no thymine nucleotide inside a RNA molecule. Okay, that composes the RNA molecule. It's actually uracil. Okay, and this one here is like adenine, thymine, cytosine, and also guanine. An RNA molecule is composed of adenine, uracil, cytosine, and guanine. Okay, so it's a different. There's like one nucleotide different. Actually, there's 5 nucleotides, which uracil is included. Okay, so this RNA is called a pre-messenger RNA. Okay, now, okay, so I'm gonna change this. Oh, why not? I'm gonna use yellow for that. Okay, the yellow part. Oh, better yet. I'm gonna use white. Now the lighted part of the lighted part of the RNA molecule, the pre-messenger NA, okay, you have introns, okay, so so you can see the white part on the DNA of the RNA is composed of introns. Introns do not apparently, okay, is not the main genetic nucleotide genetic baggage that produces a part of the protein. Okay, so what happened is that you have a different protein, which is called small nucleolic proteins. Okay, so this. Oops, I'm gonna use red. Okay. Okay, these are small nucleolic proteins. What they do, they hook up they recognize certain introns, and they splice them up. At the same time, at the same time, this molecule, this small protein, will hook up the 2 exons. Exons are the ones that are actually carrying the important genetic baggage, okay, that will produce the effective protein, okay. So this is what happened, okay. But in different cells, okay, so now I'm going to write down in different cells. I'll write it down. Okay. Okay. Okay, in different cells of the body, which the brains, in the brain, the bones and the muscles, and also the testicular gland, or I mean the gonadical gland, cells, and other parts of the body. Okay, the different by having different small nucleotide proteins will cut at different parts, okay, of the, they will take away different introns, not all the same introns. They will leave some introns that will become important, that will carry an actual message, okay, to make a proteins will be useful, okay. Or what happens is that they splice, it will cut the protein at different parts, will produce different, it will cut the RNA at different, so it will produce like a smaller protein, or like with a different, anyways. So this is how, and these different RNA, okay, which came from the same gene, but they will make a protein with a different form, okay, and it will be activated by the same molecule, which is estrogens, or 17-beta estradiol, but at different probability. It will have a different probability of effect, okay. So, and this works with concentration. So when the RNA will produce a protein that will be less sensitive to estrogen, and that means the cells will need a much higher concentration of estrogen, or 17-beta estrogen, or westriol, or westrone. Okay, westriol is the weakest estrogen. Okay, so but westriol can actually will stimulate positively brain cells and bone cells, because it's very important. These two are very important. Brain cells and bone cells and muscle cells are the three most important organs with the heart. The heart is a muscle, actually, so the heart is included in the muscle cell, with the muscle cells. Okay, so this is how men and women become different, because they have different concentration of sex steroids like testosterone, progesterone, testosterone, and estrogens. Okay, so this is the way it works. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the French, the same video in French, but different coloring. I'll do the different color. Okay, first I'll leave it there for now because I haven't finished. So unfortunately, when Okay. I'm gonna erase what I got here. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, but I'll mention it here. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay. Well, I mean, okay, so okay, therefore, so now it's blue. Okay, now this is the DNA. Okay, this is the nucleus. I will draw the nucleus like this here. Okay, this is the cell, and this is the nucleus. Okay. Now here you have like messenger. These are basically spliced messenger RNA, which is they're not they're already being, their introns have already been taken away. Okay, so basically these are the messenger RNA. So when the small nucleolic proteins have taken away their introns, okay, the rest is only exons, which means exon means exit from the nucleus. So they move out into a membrane, which is the Golgi apparatus, or the ribonucleic endoplasmic whatever membrane. Okay, so they go into the cells. Okay, one which is the cytoplasm. This is the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm. Okay, when they get to the cytoplasm, okay, which is mostly either between the rough endoplasmic reticulum or the Golgi apparatus. Okay, they get into there. The messenger RNA. Okay, so here you have a ribosome. I'll do the protein. Red is protein. Okay. On the endoplasmic reticulum, okay, you have two, or in the cytoplasm, okay. I think this one is stuck. This one is free. This is floating free in the cytoplasm, okay. This one is attached to the, I think, okay, I'm not sure. It's into the endoplasmic reticulum, okay. This is attached, it's a protein. So what happened is that the RNA, the messenger RNA without his or her introns, okay, gets attached to this part of the, which is called, I can't remember, the ribosome. This part of the ribosome, it's a small part of the ribosome, okay. So what happened is that these two, okay, there it is. Okay, now these two get hooked up together, just is smaller. Sorry about that. Okay, I don't know if you can see. There you go. I think you can see better. No. No. Now there it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Blue. Okay, now this is the messenger RNA gets on there, and inside you have grooves. Okay, inside the protein you have grooves. I'll do it in purple. You have grooves inside this protein. Okay, and inside the grooves you have a transfer RNA. Okay, that gets into it. Okay, you got a transfer RNA that gets into it. Okay, here's the transfer RNA, and each transfer RNA holds three amino acids. Okay, so protein, red is, 1, 2, 3. So what happened is that, so it gets into there, and I think they get attached to 3 nucleotides. Oh no, okay, hold on. There it is. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, what happens is the transfer RNA holds 3 amino acids, and the 3 amino acids are right here. Okay, so, and here is this code. A codon is like it's 3 nucleotides, 3 nucleolic molecule nucleotides that recognize a codon here of the messenger RNA, the 3 nucleotides. Okay, recognizes it and then hooks up into it. Okay, which these 3. Oh, and it holds 1 protein, 1 amino acid. Sorry, I made a mistake. Amino acid, big mistake I made. Okay, so here you have like 3. A codon is 3 nucleotides. Okay, and these 3 nucleotides of the transfer RNA recognize the 3 nucleotides in the codon of the or the exon, or the codon of the exon of the messenger RNA. Okay, and then they hook up, and there's like 2 of them. So here is the protein. So what happens is that there's a reaction here, and then there's a reaction here, and the 2 proteins are attached to each other, and then this process gets like this. So you have a whole bunch of proteins. Okay, now when they become, okay, so that's it. Okay, so here, so it creates a protein. Okay, now the actual in the brain cells, which is the most important organ, the brain cells, the muscle cells, including the heart, and the bone cells, which are the most important organs of the of the body. Okay, which, the skin is important, but the skin is like being influenced by other molecules like vitamins, vitamin E, vitamin D, and also the B vitamins. Okay, so there's like other. Okay, so now these, it produces a protein, and maybe another area produce another protein. So you have like strands of protein, and these strands of proteins come together and forms a form. Okay, here's a form. Okay, now and here's estrogen, a steroid. Okay, this is an estrogen molecule. Okay, now the estrogen molecules travels and hooks up here, okay? And let's say this is a, it's inside the brain, okay? So now the estrogen molecule hooks up in this part. This is the receptor site, okay? The molecule here, the protein molecule, is a receptor, which would be let's say estrogen beta, which is the most important one. Estrogen beta, estro beta, okay? So receptor estro beta hooks up there, and what happens when there's a reaction, when it gets there, okay, the shape of the molecule has a magnetic shape, and it reacts, it hooks up to this molecule here, and then when this happens, okay, so let's see here, okay. Okay, so it changes the shape of the receptor, and then the receptor can hook up to to a gene, okay, a specific gene inside the brain cell. Okay, so we'll do an effect like, for example, to renew the cell, to keep the cell alive, basically, okay, or to stimulate the cell to replicate itself. Okay, so it's replication, keep the cell alive, or apoptose. It tells the cell to die off. Okay, so it hooks up the same shape there, and also the genes. There might be a protein. I'm not sure, but I think that's what the biology. Okay, a gene that has, let's see here, it's a protein that's hooked up into the single strand of DNA, and this gets inserted in there. Okay, of course it's the side. This is closer. This is farther away. Just for so it hooks up, and what it does, it will produce another RNA molecule. It will produce another messenger RNA, and this messenger, it goes off into the cytoplasm, and then it produces another protein. Now I told you about introns and exons. Okay, so at different cells, it could take away. It will choose which intron to take away. So in the brain cells, maybe there's no introns are being taken away, let's say, okay? But in the breast cells, okay, the mammary cells, okay, there are some small ribonucleic proteins that will take away 50 introns. Okay, so what it does, it will produce the same receptor, estrogen receptor, but with a different probability. Okay, so but also when it gets to the cytoplasm and when the protein is formed, okay, depending on which type of cell and which part of the body, okay, the protein itself, okay, there are small other proteins that will come along and that will hook up to that cells and will to that protein chain, and will produce a protein with a different shape. Okay, so basically a gene inside a nucleus will produce maybe 20 to 50 to 100 different types of proteins, and that's depending inside the nucleus, where the small nucleolic proteins will take away certain introns and will leave certain introns there. So, and these introns will automatically become exons. At the same time, so that will make different proteins, but at the same time, in the cytoplasm, there's other types of enzymes or proteins that will change, that will add proteins to the proteins that have been done by the ribosomes, which the ribosome is made up, with this protein is made by ribosomes and messenger RNA and also transfer RNA, and also there's ribonucleic RNA, which the ribosome is made half nucleotides and half amino acids, which is half RNA and half proteins. Okay, half protein molecules. Okay. So there's two places where the same gene, there's two places where the protein that's made by a gene, okay, will get changed into another protein, okay, inside the nucleus and also the cytoplasm. Inside the nucleus because of the small nucleolic proteins, and also inside the cytoplasm because of the small proteins that will add amino acids to the protein that's being built by the the messenger RNA and also the ribosomes, okay, into another, like, so there's like, and all this change. Okay. Now, all this will produce a different beta-estrogen receptors, different. So what that means, it will controls the probability of an effect of that cells. So meaning, and that depends by the concentration of estrogen, or 17 beta estrogen, also the type of estrogen. The type of estrogens are the 17 beta estradiol, alpha 17 alpha estradiol, and then you have also the different versions of beta estradiol, alpha beta of westrone, westriol, and also there's the phytoestrogens, which are the isoflavone from soja, and also lignans from pears, apples, and flax seeds and sesame seeds, and there's other types of like phytoestrogen. Phytoestrogen are actually estrogen. They're estrogen-like inside the plant, but therefore, and also plant does have animal estrogens or animal sex hormones, like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen. They have mostly in higher concentration the estrogens, like westrone for one thing. Okay, pomegranate seeds have like westrones inside them. So this is the logic of a transition of transsexuality. Okay, you basically you control the concentration of your sex hormones, testosterone, therefore dihydrotestosterone, progesterone, therefore the estrogens, which are both chirality of estradiol, westrone, and also westriol. Okay, so this, and also for a safe transition, the most important things are the brain, the bones, and the muscles, and all three are just high importance. Like they have the same, their receptors have the same sensitivity, almost the same sensitivity to estrogen. Estrogen are the most important final product of the steroids, which comes from cholesterol. Okay, so this is the way, when you change, when a man becomes a woman, or like feminizes his body, or a woman masculinizes his body, she has to know that she has to keep her brain, or his brain, and also bones and also muscles, which the heart is included, healthy. So both of them has to keep phytoestrogen. Both of them has to keep a concentration of these estrogen, and also plant estrogen, which is the phytoestrogen. Plant estrogen is isoflavone, the naringenin, and the lignans, and the coumestrol. Okay, and also the polyphenols, which is the polyphenols inside the chocolate, which imitates. They're less sensitive compared to 17 beta estradiol, which is the top. Okay, 17 alpha estradiol is weaker, and also it does different things in the body. Okay, so when you transition into either sex, you have to keep that in an amount. What you do, you curb your testosterone, you curb your progesterone, and you curb your estrogen to for girls who want to become man, to a concentration that will not stimulate breast growth, or the epiphyseal closure of the bones, of the long bones, meaning that the girl will grow a little bit a little bit taller. So, like, I mean, it's a little bit, unless the girl wants to be a dwarf. So that's it. Now for the French video.